thanks for checking out my video. This is volume 1 on orchestral snare drum repertoire, and we're talking about Scheherazade in this video, specifically movement number 3 for timbre piccolo. And this movement presents quite a few challenges to the snare drummer because it moves right along. It's at a piano or lower dynamic level. There's 4-stroke roughs, there's drags, there's 16th notes. I mean, it's just, and plus you're sitting through the first 2 movements, which are quite long, and a big long introduction before you play at rehearsal letter D. So, you know, sometimes tension creeps into the hands and you get nervous, and so when you stand up to play, it's a disaster waiting to happen. So what I've done over the years is I've just learned to have, you know, just a relaxed grip on the sticks and let the snare drum head do the work and never use more force than is necessary to get the job done. And one thing that I tell my students is when you're practicing for an audition and going through these excerpts, what you should do is play them cold, day after day after day. And when you get to the point where you're playing these things perfectly, you know, cold, with no warm-up, you'll never ever be nervous at an audition or actually in a playing situation, in a performance. You'll never ever have a case of nerves because you know you can do it. You've done it 100 times. So enough said about that. Letter D, as I said, this is the first entrance, and it's a piano level. It's two solo bars, nothing going on but the snare drum, and then it goes down to triple P under the clarinet solo. And I play this as an open 7-stroke roll with starting with the left hand, going to the right, with a slight crescendo, and I play all the 8th notes with the right hand. Now, a rule of thumb for me is if I can get away with using one hand on a rhythm, I'll do it. And I just think I think it's a better sound. I like the sound of that as opposed to alternating sticking, and it just works well for me. Okay, letter D, here we go. Now, you'll notice that I made a slight crescendo on those last 4 bars because the composer indicates, starting at bar 7, pochissimo crescendo. So you just want to be careful you don't make too much out of that, because it's just basically you and the clarinet, the solo clarinet. Okay, we're looking at 5 bars after rehearsal letter F now, and what we have here is some drags and some 16th notes. Oh boy. Now, the problem is that playing those 16th notes as single strokes, it's sometimes hard to get that drag in there on time on the next measure. Now, just a quick word about my opinion on drags and 4-stroke roughs. It's an embellishment. It's not a rhythm. So, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, those grace notes should be played as close to the principal note as possible, and kind of a one motion type of thing. And that's the way I'm going to play these. I'm going to play them with the right hand, with the grace notes being played with the left hand, and then I'm starting those 16th notes. I'm going to play a double paradiddle stroke, as I said, starting with the right hand. And it's at a pianissimo level, and you're playing along with tambourine and triangle, so make sure that you're balanced with their dynamic level, so you don't stick out above what they're playing. And here's how this sounds. Okay, the next entrance is at letter G for George, and this is very interesting here because you've you've got an eighth note, and then you had a roll to 3/8 notes. And what's going on in the orchestra at that point is the trumpets are playing. You're kind of playing with the trumpets there. They've got a 16th note triplet rhythm, and they're playing bop diggity bop 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 diggity diggity bop 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 diggity diggity bop. So the way I interpret this is I play kind of an open roll, starting with the right hand going to the right hand, and play those 3/8 notes. You know, it's a right with the first eighth note, and then a right hand starting the roll, and then all rights on the eighth notes. And sometimes a conductor will ask if you can play the roll closed. They want to hear a closed roll there. So I'm going to play it both ways. And this is at a piano dynamic level. Here it is closed. Okay, and then we've got that same drags, single drags, and the double paradiddle rhythm again. And we're going to talk about the last 4 bars of this. Now, a little trick that I have used over the years to help me play 4-stroke roughs at, you know, piano down to pianissimo level is instead of making the normal 4-stroke rough, I'll double up the left hand, so it's right, left, left, right. Once again, it's right, left, left, right, or if you're more comfortable, you can start with the left hand and do the 2 rights, and then you're leaning towards the principal note. So the last 4 bars, you've got a 4-stroke rough at pianissimo on the downbeat of every bar. And this is the way this should sound. Okay, I hope you found this helpful, and I hope that you know, what I've told you today will serve you with your auditions, or your audition tapes, I should say, and your actual personal auditions, whether you're going to graduate school or whether you're going to pursue an orchestral career. It's been my pleasure to show you.